Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Hopefully you can. And welcome to Sunday night. Michael, how's it going, buddy?
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening. Good evening. Michael's breaking up on me. Can everyone hear? Okay. We had a
There we
couple of
go.
technical difficulties. All right. Waiting to see if everybody hears good. All right, awesome. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know this was sort of short notice, and I was out messing around. Michael, you went out and went metal detecting today. How did it go, buddy?
Not too good. Didn't find nothing.
Well,
I got skunked.
sometimes that's just the way it goes, Michael. It really is. So,
Yeah.
but I was out messing around. I went out on Thursday and was able to get out a little bit this morning. And I got I got a crazy find, Michael, that I'm gonna share with everyone in just a few minutes. I think some of you've already seen it, and yeah, they're saying, Michael, you're stuck, but maybe you'll come back in just a second. But yeah, I had a crazy find today. A bucket lister that I was able to hit this morning early, and so we're gonna share that with everyone too. But as always, Michael, it's always fun to start off with recognizing all of the wonderful people that are in here tonight with us. Thank you guys for being here on a short notice. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you as well. Thank you guys again for being here. So we got Mr. Gary Hulls is in the house with us tonight, Michael. Edward G is in the house. Miss Aggie Hall is in the house from all the way from Kentucky. We've got relics and rings, and we got something we're going to share from him in just a few minutes. Mr. Dirt Devil Detective's in here. Appreciate you guys taking your Sunday night away from the football games and everything else that's going on. I know Sunday nights isn't always the best night, but for Michael and I, that's really all we've got right now. So we're trying to stay out here and at least make our presence known as much as we can, as both of us are extremely busy this time of year with sports and other things going on. But again, glad to have you guys here. Metal Detecting Northwestern Wisconsin's in here with us. Mr. Surfside Dan is in here. Glad to have Surfside Dan with us. We've got Edward G in here. I think I've already mentioned him. We got Mr. Joel's in here tonight, Michael. We haven't seen Joel in a while, so we'll have to pump Joel up a little bit tonight. Metal Detecting Texas. Glad to have Matt in here with us. Ricky Bennett is in the house. Glad to have Ricky. Appreciate Ricky being here tonight. Mr. Mark Trailer is in the house. Glad to have Mark. Doug Atkins is in here with us. Glad to have Doug tonight. Don't Tread on Me is here with us tonight, Michael. Old Pelon has joined in the fun. Glad to have Old Pelon. Richard Smart is in here with us. Don't have Digging Daryl, but Digging Daryl was probably at the Kadoa Festival or Kadua Festival, however you say that. I bet that's where he is. Mr. Damian Thorne's in here, and Damian's probably mad that we're doing this on Sunday night because I know he loves to watch football on Sunday night. But Damian, we're glad you're here with us. Chris is in the house. Appreciate Chris. We lost Michael for a few minutes, and we got Mr. Danny in the house. So we got a big crowd, guys. Thank you guys for joining in, and I do want to share this find that I had. And I'm going to put this up if I can get it to show up here. And I'm going to put it up there right now, which there it goes. Guys, check out the trime. And that is my first. And those are so hard to find. And I was extremely excited about digging that today. And just been on cloud nine. I dug that early this morning as I was able to get out for a few minutes and run the Deus 2. And I dug a trime. So I couldn't believe it when that came out of the ground. I just wasn't expecting that at all. And here it comes, and it is in really, really good shape and good condition, which you can see here as well. Let's see if we can bring Michael back in here. All right, Michael, we're looking at the trime. What do you think about that, buddy?
It's nice. I've never found one myself. Still looking to find one. So that's a great find. It's a hard target to find too because it's so small.
Yeah, Damien says hell froze over.
Yeah.
Those are so hard to find in the South. So, to dig one was just, something I never really thought I would ever dig, because everybody I talk to keeps saying, hey, those are very hard to find. And I dug one and just extremely excited about that one as well. It is an 1854 is the date on it. And just extremely excited. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you guys. Danny N, thank you so much again. And Gary Hull says that is mint. It's in pretty good shape. I've got it right here. I don't think my camera will zoom in. Guys, this
Damien
thing
was
is
wanting
so
to know. He's wanting to know what it rang up at on the desk.
It rang up. This one is an 18. They only made this particular style or this particular version from 1854, I believe, to 1858. So it has a higher silver content in it because it's got, I think, what, 0.900 silver content to it. So it rang up a little bit higher. So it rang up a 7778 on the dais too. And I'm going to actually show you guys the video in just a few minutes. So there's Tex. Glad to have Tex in here. Appreciate you guys joining in. Digging Daryl's in the house. Glad to have Digging Daryl. I knew he would be in here. Hopefully you had a good time at the festival. Don't Tread on Me says that he dug one about 5 inches down, just a faint but pure high mid-tone. Yeah, this one, now the ones that, according to what I've read, the ones that were made after 1858 have a lower silver content in them. They were made from, I think they were made from nickel and copper. So those are going to ring up a lot different than this one did. So, that was just, phenomenal. And it is a nice coin for sure. And I appreciate you guys saying that as well. Gary Hull says he said he would put it in a medallion case and wear it around his neck. This thing is so tiny. Can y'all see how small that is? And it is thin, really thin, thinner than some of the reals that I've dug, the half reals. And it's just a tiny coin. So I'm trying to hold it up there. I think you guys can see it holding it up there. But yeah, it is a very tiny, thin coin for sure. And let's get a couple of these comments. Finders Keeper says they're not easy to find up north too. I've dug 5 cat busts, but not one trime. See, and I haven't dug a cat bust. So go figure. I got all these other types of crazy finds, but I don't have a cat bust, and I didn't have a trime till today. So just a really, really fun find for me, and it really made my day. How's the other side's in really good shape. I put a picture up on the on my Facebook community page, but it's very, very nice. Let me see if I can upload that picture, Michael. Let's see if I can find it. Let me get the other side so people can see it. But yeah, you can see the date on it. Where is it? Hang on, guys. Let's see if this one looks good. There we go. There's the other side, guys. So you guys can see it. It's 1854. And it's just a cool looking coin. So that got me thinking, because as I was going through digging this thing, I got to thinking about programs, and I dug this one. You guys can see on the picture, I dug this one running fast, And of course, let's see, Greeny Meanie says he dug one this year that rang up 74. And this one rang up 77, 78. And it got me thinking, though, about different programs and what those programs can actually do. And I think running it in fast and running it in pitch, I think it maybe gave it a higher VDI. Yeah, Patrick Parker says, yeah, fairly clean. Good job. Yeah, I didn't clean it. That's just what it looked like out of the dirt. And of course, the soil I'm digging in is very, very, very mild. So again, and Ferris Grump said, listen to this. He said, only make a medallion on your third one because third trime is a charm. That's good. I like that too.
Well, he said it rang up a 74. Yours is like a 77. It could have been
Yeah.
the frequency, or it could have been the channel that the machine was on. And that can change
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's Green. That's Green Mountain 64 that said that. So yeah, it rang up I'm sorry, I said Greeny Meanie. It rang up a 77, 78. So let's check out the video. Y'all can see it on video here, and let me pull that up real quick. And I got it over here, and you guys can check out the video. So here it comes. Here we go. Okay, we just popped open this hole, and it was ringing up a 78, 77 here. And we're running pitch audio. We're running fast. And there's a little bit of iron around it, if y'all can hear that. There's some iron over here, but it was mixed in with this iron. So it's 78, 77. So let's see what this is going to be. We just dug the back of a Civil War button, two-piece button, and oh, we see something round and something silver. Oh my goodness. Look at that, guys. That's a trime. I have never dug one of those. Oh, wow. It's got the nice little star on the front. We'll have to clean it up. But yeah, it's our first trime. And we just switched over programs. We went back to fast, running pitch, PWM audio. And we're using the 9-inch coil on the XP Deus 2. And we just got rewarded with our very first trime. And we just don't dig many of these in the South. It's hard to find. So this is a rare coin for us. And God, I'm real excited about that one for sure. Extremely excited. That was a bucket lister coin for sure. And the Deus 2 with the 9-inch coil running fast. And we picked this out of this iron. So we'll take that. And yeah, that's extremely exciting. Okay, we'll catch you guys soon. Stop recording. Stop recording. All right. So that was... Okay, we just popped open this hole, and it was ringing up. What do you think, Michael?
I can see the video, but I didn't have any sound on it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't. Maybe the sound didn't come through. I hope it did. Were y'all able to hear the sound? So I don't know. So, but yeah, it rang up a 77, 78, and was just really shocked to find it. So again, super find, and was just real excited about it. But again, it got me thinking about programs. So I want to share something that I saw today with you guys. And that was, of course, you guys know I use the sweeper program. And the sweeper program, of course, is sensitive full tones. And of course, I've got some modifications to it and so on. And it works extremely well. And and that's the reason why I didn't sort of video the whole dig. I had just switched over to fast. And once I did, I dug that coin. But then I tried to stay with fast. And one thing that I noticed today was that fast just doesn't do as well with the VDI, and it's real bouncy, real chattery, really hones in on the iron and nails, even more so than sensitive full tones. And I can tell a lot more in sensitive full tones running the full tones than I could running fast with pitch and PWM. I just got more tonal response, I felt like, running the sensitive full tones. So again, that got me thinking, what do you guys run? I know a lot of you are using what I'm using with the sensitive full tones feature. And so it got me thinking, what's your favorite programs on the Deus 2? What's your favorite programs maybe on the MindLab Manicore or the Xterra or the Xterra Elite or the Equinox or the Legend? Which programs do you guys use when you go relic hunting? And what do you see with them as far as VDI numbers? How consistent are they? And I wanted to hear what you guys thought too. Now, Michael, you were using some different programs today too. So, what do you think, Michael?
I mean, I settled back on the sensitive full tones because I just like the full tones on it. But all of them ran pretty quiet. I ran sensitive, and I even ran deep high conductor a little bit.
Okay.
But I
So,
like
what
the sensitive
did you
full tone.
notice though? What did you notice when you started switching around to some of those other programs as far as the VDI and target numbers? I mean, what were you getting?
I mean, it seemed like I was getting a lot better VDI numbers with the sensitive full tone, you
Okay.
know. And I was, from what I did, which was a lot of shotgun shells and stuff like that. You know, it wouldn't. I didn't dig anything good today, but it did lock on better to me.
Yeah, so I just struggled. I mean, and I used fast for a very, very long time on the Deus. And then when I got the Deus 2, I went right back to fast. I ran pitch, and it worked really well under 0.71. But running it with this 1.10 filter, 1.10 software, just seems like, I don't know, fast just doesn't seem like it's just as good on a lot of these targets, even mixed in iron. And I just couldn't get it to lock in the way I can with sensitive full tones. And, maybe if I'd have switched it over to full tones and gotten out of pitch, maybe that would have helped some, but I don't know. I just, that's not going to help the target ID. So that was something that I found, pretty interesting. Now, we're talking about the Deus too, but the other machines too, they respond differently as well. Like on the Manicore, Michael and I love to use, the low conductors and
Hmm.
all-terrain low conductors, and it works really well. And every now and then we'll switch over to fast. But what we found out with that is that it seems like the low conductors does a little better on the target ID there as well. Do you not think that, Michael?
It does. I mean, I think that low conductor, if you're relic hunting, is the best program for that. And I mean, we tried fast. From what I understand, the fast and the general on the Manicore is pretty much the same programs. It's the reactivity speed that's different.
Yeah.
There's
So
not much difference.
right. And I don't know. And then on the Legend, I love using Field, and I run the Field program, and I run multi two for my relic hunting, and I run the recovery up around 5.4, usually around 5 on the Legend, and I'll run the iron filter really low too. I'll run it around 1 or 2, but I tend to use 60 tones, and not go to the pitch on the legend. And it's, I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that I get better target ID that way sometimes, and for whatever reason. But the legend to me, it's bouncy too, sort of like the Mind Lab machines. Same way with the Equinox. Those numbers can be a little bit bouncy when you start running the recovery speed up a little bit higher. And so that had me thinking today. And I know I dug that trime, and I told you while I was on the phone with you that, yeah, I dug that trime, but would I have dug it with sensitive full tones? And I probably should have checked that target, with sensitive full tones. But I just switched over. I was just playing around with it, and I got lucky. I dug a trime, but I just, it got me thinking. And then all the other targets that I dug after that were real sketchy targets. Like the VDI was just all over the place. And some of them turned out to be good, and some of them turned out to be, junk, turned out to be nails. It
Right.
really hones in on the nails and on big iron, even more so than sensitive full tones. So again, that's why I use sensitive full tones. So again, those are just some things that I wanted to share tonight, because it got me thinking about it. Even after I dug this trime, was, what about all these other programs on some of these other machines? And I got to thinking how all these machines respond, and all of them respond a little bit differently. But it seems like all of them running pitch and trying to run a faster recovery, that VDI just seems to get a little bit more shaky. Whereas on the Deus 2 running sensitive full tones, it tends to lock in a lot better. At least that's what I'm seeing. What do you think, Michael?
I agree with you. I need to tell
Eddie G
Dirt
says
Devil
he uses.
Detectives.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Dirt Devil Detectives on here. I was going to say I was out there when I got back to the truck and I unscrewed the lock on my DS2, and I dropped my little threaded screw in the
Right.
grass. I had to crawl on my hands and knees, and I finally found it, didn't I, Brian?
Oh yeah, you did. You were out there. You were scrambling around for sure. So I'm going back and looking at the comments, because a lot of you are giving some great information. Um, you know, uh, Metal Detective Northwest Wisconsin says he uses sensitive full tones. Tesh Ridge Digger says he mostly coins hunt with the pitch program with notches. Are you talking about the Deus 2? Or are you talking about the Manicore, Tesh Ridge? I think you're talking about the Deus 2. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, he says that he uses pitch with notch, and I'll put notch in occasionally. I'm all about hearing everything. And every now and then I'll just turn the iron volume off, but I usually run it pretty wide open. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I felt like running too much notch can actually hurt it, can actually sort of, I don't know, play with the unmasking capability of it in some cases. So I tend not to run a lot of notch on my machines, especially with the sites that I hunt. But it's probably great for coin hunting though, for sure, because you can notch out all those other junk targets and lock in on the higher conductive targets. What you gonna say, Michael?
Well, that's something we probably need to go back and look at. If on those tests is running that notch up, if it is going to hurt the unmasking, because I mean, a lot of the places we hunt, like today, if it's in the 30s, I don't dig it, because it's going to end up being a little piece of aluminum or something like that. But
Right.
I
Don't
mean, if
tread
it's
on
not
me.
gonna,
Don't tread on me says that there are targets he runs his reactivity 0, 2, 4, and 5, and maybe 2.3 and on 3, depending on the site. And it is, a lot of it is site dependent, as far as the reactivity goes. I ran mine at 2.5, and then I ran up to 3, and I was running 3 with the fast program when I dug that trime. But again, it just had me thinking, what are some of the differences in a lot of these programs, and how do they respond when you're in these different iron sites? And what do you guys use? And a lot of you are saying you're using a lot of the same stuff that I use. Edward G says he used 60 tones. Yes, I like 60 tones. He says he runs his recovery at 5 to 4. And Patrick Parker says, "Yeah, crazy things happens when you start playing." That's right. You start moving stuff around. It can definitely change. Um, let's see here. Sensitive full tones, and sometimes check targets with deep high conductor. And
Yes.
again, and this was the other thing Michael and I were talking about the other day. I was a big general and deep high conductor guy before the update, the 1.0 and then the 1.1 and then the 2. And deep high conductor in general just don't work the same like they did running 0.71 and the earlier updates. So I don't
Right.
know
I
what
agree.
happened there. It doesn't respond, and it's not as to me, it's just not as good in heavy iron as it was before this update. Don't you think so, Michael?
Yeah, I agree with that. We've went back and looked at it and tried to run it, and it's just not as good as it was at 0.71 for some reason. I don't know if it's the filters have changed or the silencer. I don't know.
Yeah. Matt says, Michael, if you had a metal detector, you could have found those screws.
The screw, man, is plastic, so the
Yeah.
metal detector wouldn't have done any good.
So he was telling Dirt Devil that he was going to have to give him a shout to try to get some more of those screws.
But I found it. I eventually found it.
Yeah,
I
good.
shouldn't I shouldn't have screwed it out too much.
Good evening, Bart. Glad to have you here with us tonight. Appreciate you joining in. There's Digging Daryl. He says we raised $2,200 this weekend at the Kaduha Hunt to donate and help with the people affected by the hurricanes. That is so awesome. So
Yeah,
awesome.
it is.
So Rito's in here. Glad to have you in here, Rito. Appreciate you joining in. Just looking at everybody's comments. Y'all got some good ones. Dirt Devil Detective says, I run my disc up instead of notching. And you can do that too. Like I know Gary Blackwell runs that Techno program and he runs the disc all the way up to 40. So I'm sure you can do it. It used to be though, when you ran that discrimination up, you started losing depth on the old disc. But
Well, I don't think you do really on depth. Like you said, the only thing we're worried about is unmasking because we tested it. I've ran it up to 40 and tested it, and you still getting the same depth. It's just we're wondering about the unmasking.
right, right.
Running it up.
Teshri's Digger says notches may not work that good for the type of hunting you do. Example, relics. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I and we haven't really tried that, but it used to be that way in the past. And like Michael said, maybe that's something we should start sort of experimenting with and seeing how notch might impact some of the places that we hunt if we started,
Well, like I
running notch.
said, if this new HF coil comes out, and we know what these HF coils do, they raise your VDI number. The higher you go in frequency, it may really have some advantage to running notch on these lower, smaller signals like little lead shot and stuff like that. If we can do it.
Right,
So
right.
we probably need to go back and look at that.
Right. Good evening, Bubba. Glad to have you in here. Appreciate you joining in. Patrick Parker says he was out yesterday in a schoolyard for about an hour, found 2 potted meat cans and a couple pieces of big iron. Well, Patrick, we got to get you going, brother. You can do it. Just keep after it. I'm telling you, sometimes sometimes are good, sometimes are bad. It's just like anything else. But be consistent. Just get out there. You'll get it for sure. Um, let's see here. Was well done, Daryl. Yes, Daryl and them raised a lot of money for sure for the hurricane people and the hurricane victims up there in North Carolina. And I know they greatly appreciate that. And Daryl's a great guy and always willing to help out as much as he
Yeah,
can. So again, glad to have.
it's a mess up here, guys.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. When you get into the mountains of North Carolina, it's really bad from everything that I've seen and heard from people. And I know some people that live up in those areas, and they're still being heavily impacted. So again, thank you, Daryl, for helping those people out. That's super super nice of you, and it's super nice of the
Yeah,
people.
and Daryl, there's people like you and other people in this area and all over, really all over the country that are donating items and helping out, and that's the only help that they have. They're not being able to rely on the government right now because they're not doing anything. I'm gonna just tell
That's
you that. So
No, and it's been tough. Michael Matt says that that's a little off topic, but that's a voodoo and wanga above your head to ward off the evil spirit.
it's a scarecrow. My mother-in-law painted it. Yeah. Somebody put some voodoo on me today because I didn't find anything. That was the worst. I told Brian that was the worst day of detecting I ever had.
Oh my gosh. Well, and days are like that, just like we were just saying with Patrick.
Yeah.
Michael had a rough day today, and that happens. It does. Everybody goes through that. And that's just part of it. Sometimes there's good days, sometimes there's bad days, and but we all love this hobby, and we all love getting out and enjoying ourselves, and just having fun. That's what it's really all about. I'm telling you, the last couple of times I've been out, just being out there in the quiet and the peacefulness, and just being outside. And of course, a lot of you know I've been having some issues with my leg. I tore my knee all to pieces about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago now, and I've been struggling with that. And this was just my first opportunity in the last few months to get out, and so I just was excited just to be outside and go out there and dig and have a good time. And it was just a lot of fun. And Surfside Dan was supposed to go with me on Thursday, and he had something that came up and he was not able to go. So maybe he'll be able to go with me the next time I go. So I'm looking forward to that, because Surfside Dan's a lot of fun and super, super knowledgeable too. So we will be looking forward to that. Tesh Ridge Digger says, try the sensitive program on clean ground with reactivity of 0.5, sensitivity of 95, and audio response of 5. Right. And that's going to give you you're going to hit deep stuff running it that way for sure. But most of my sites, though, they're so littered with iron that it just, I don't know, it just makes it tough trying to break through that iron running the reactivity that low. And I'm telling you, this place where I dug this trime is just, it's just wall to wall iron the whole time. For how far, Michael? Probably what?
I mean, 100 yards up that edge, probably. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, it's more. It's more than you said. 100 yards. It's more than
Yeah.
100 yards. It's a good 200 yards, if anything. It's a good
Yeah.
ways, but it's nothing but iron. It's just nails and big iron everywhere. There was a structure there too, and when you guys see the video, when I finally put it up, you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, just a lot of iron, a lot of nails, a lot of big iron. This was a working plantation all the way up through the Civil War, and even after the Civil War, was a big farm as well. So there was a lot of activity that went on this place for a very very long time. So the other thing that I dug, which was sort of weird, I dug I think it was a 1912 Barber V nickel as well, and I dug a ring of all things as well today. So it was just some odd things, really really good. So yeah, just a lot of fun. So Michael, let's talk about that. I know we've talked about this before, but the higher frequency coil, when it comes out for the Deus 2, it's coming, and we're hoping it's going to happen real soon. We hope, but
Right.
and it might not be till December. It might not be till January, for all we know. But we're hoping that it's going to happen real soon for the Deus 2. And again, Michael brought up a good point just a few minutes ago when he was talking about how we may see some elevated VDI numbers by running that higher frequency. So that's something too that you guys might need to be aware of when we do finally get our hands on this new coil. Are we going to see an increase in those VDI numbers maybe some of those numbers that we were used to seeing on the Deus 2 before the HF, and now the way it is once we do get the HF, is it going to
Right.
be really that much different? And I think it will be. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, when we had the DS1, they had the uh, what was it called, where you could set your VDI numbers,
Right.
uh, and when once we got that the HF coils, that was gone. You pretty much had to go because it changed the VDI number so much going on those higher frequencies, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be the same way with this new coil coming out too.
Yeah, I'm just excited about it because I'm real curious as to what it will do on my Relic sites, especially with the amount of iron that we're dealing with on these sites. And is it going to help me unmask a lot better? We know, and we've already heard this from XP, that running that max frequency at 40 kilohertz is the best possible setting that you can use for unmasking. And now that we're going to have more unmasking possibilities with the higher frequencies, are we going to be able to dig, and find things that are mixed in those iron a lot better? Is it going to be that much better with running that higher frequency? And I know that we're probably going to dig a lot more smaller targets as well, running those higher frequencies. I knew I did on my Deus, my original Deus, when I ran the HF round coil and the HF elliptical coil. I tended to dig a lot more smaller targets as well. So, what do you think, Michael?
What? How are we liking the Excalibur shovel?
Yeah. Somebody just put that up. I used my Excalibur shovel in the last video. You guys go check that video out. You can see me using it. Worked really, really well. Does a good
I
job.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like them a lot. I like the length of that shovel. So
I do too. Yeah,
I like the length. I
that's
like
what's nice about it. You can get customized links for that, and kind of get it the way you want it. And that's what was nice for us.
right. I'm looking at some of these. Doug Atkins says he loves his Excalibur shovel too, and Rich McKessel, I guess that's how you say it. He says he's been running the Techna program modified, the THSS, and have had good luck with it. Yeah, and again, Gary runs that discrimination up to 40 on that thing. So, and it's had really good luck with it over in Europe. I've tried it, but I don't know. I don't know. I felt like the signals sort of sounded a little bit wonky running it that discrimination up. What do you think about that, Michael?
I think it does too. It's got a different sound to it. It sounds a little bit odd to me on the target. So I don't know what it's doing. It's kind of distorting the signal a little bit.
Right. Metal Detect Northwestern Wisconsin says higher frequency usually makes a lower VDI. I think it elevates the VDI from what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it does. I mean because everything with that HF coil, if you run it high enough, you know it would stay up
It,
70 and
it
above.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it'll do like 2, 3 points,
hold on a
sometimes even
second.
more, but about 2 to 3 points higher running it on those HF coils. You would get a 2 to 3 point difference in a lot of cases with those other VD with versus the other machines and the other coils. So I always found it to be a lot higher. Dirt Devil Detecting
Right.
says more trims to come with that new coil. I know that's what I'm looking forward to. Dirt Devil Detecting. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Metal Detecting Texas says I'm going to wait until the new coil comes out to get the Deus 2 so I can spend all my wife's money at one time. Well, don't you get
There
yourself
you
in
go,
trouble.
Matt. Just
Yeah,
tell her just tell her it comes with that coil. She won't
that's
know.
it. Yeah, she'll never know. Lance is on here. What up, Lance? You missed some great conversation. We were talking about my find today, which I dug a trime, and so we're sort of talking a little bit about programs and different machines. But glad you're here. Sir Alfred's in the house. Glad to have him in here joining in with us. He says he uses the Jethro program, which is using the dive program. And I was telling Michael about that today, or not today, but earlier this week. And I just don't know. I mean, I know it's a deep program. I do know that. I just don't know how it would do in separation. And that's where I would have my issue with that program. So, I don't know. We'll have to maybe check that out. Johnny's Corner says, "Hey, Southern Relic, how you doing? Appreciate it, Johnny. We're doing fine, other than my knees still messed up, but I'm limping around and I'm trying to metal detect and get out there and do some fun things. So, I'm hanging in there really right now." And Patrick Parker says, "Michael, you're playing peekaboo."
Yeah, I had to get up and close doors. My kids coming in and leaving them open. I might have to get on to them here.
David Becker's in the house. Glad to have David in here. Appreciate you being in here with us, David. He says he's just been detecting between the hurricanes. And Matt says, "Thank you guys. She's sitting here watching with me now, so I'm busted." Oh no, Matt, we didn't mean to get you in trouble. So yeah, I'm hoping I will get better soon too, Johnny. I appreciate it. So Dirt Devil Detecting says he's backing out. Glad to have you in here tonight, Dirt Devil Detecting. Appreciate you so much. And guys, hit that like button if you can. That helps with our algorithm and helps us to bring these shows to you each and every weekend. And we appreciate you guys being in here with us tonight. Don't Tread on Me says, "I'm chomping at the bit for that new call. I have a bunch of sites I want to re-hit now, but want to wait to have." I know, I'm with you right there too. And I'm hoping it's not going to be much longer. Maybe November, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they haven't told me anything other than it's coming maybe by the end of the year. That's about all I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know any more than that. And they said that I would get one. So again, that's what I'm holding on to too. So let's hope that it happens really, really, really soon. So, but again, the trime was just a fantastic find, and that thing is so. Oh gosh, I just dropped it. That thing is so small. You see how small that thing is, Michael?
Yeah, it's small. I know. I've seen one. I've never dug one, but I've seen one.
Yeah, I
Up close.
can't get over how small it is, and again, it just shocked me today. Spray Can Michael says, "I've been out on the beach every day since the hurricane hit Florida." And then he put still. I don't know what the last part. Still waiting. I guess I don't know. So, Spray Can Michael, you been finding anything out on the beach? That's the real question. Since the hurricane, did that
I
clean
hope
off
we're
the beach?
done with hurricanes this year.
Yeah, I hope the hurricane season's over with, guys.
Yeah.
I'm ready. David Becker says, "Wow, bucket lister." It was a bucket lister for me, and I found some really cool things through my years, but that was one that I had never found before. So, and I really didn't expect to find it. I really didn't. I never thought that I was going to find one. I really just didn't. But that place is really interesting. And when I put the video up, you'll see. But there's a 1700 site on that place, and then there's an 1800 site on that place. So there are two sites. One's 1800s and one's 1700s, and they're in different locations on the property. And most of the stuff that I've dug off of that particular area has all been 1800 stuff, hasn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it has. So that's the site where you actually found that. It was probably one of the newer areas. I mean, if you want to say newer, it's mid to late 1800s. But I mean, it's still it's still old stuff right there. I don't know what was right there, but there was some kind type of structure there.
Yeah, there was a lot of structures. I think it was slave cabins, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Digging Darrell says he talked to Debbie with Mine Lab, and I've been after Debbie, and she keeps sort of putting me off, or something's come up, or she's been on vacation, and So I've just been waiting. I'm ready for her to come on. Anytime she's ready, we'd love to have her on. So hopefully that'll be really good. Spray Can Michael says that no beaches are sanded over here in Palm Beach County, right? So I would have thought the
Hmm.
hurricane would have knocked down some of that sand and opened up some targets for you. Rito wants to know, do I think the coal will come out in Europe before there?
Maybe.
It might, but they tend to release them really at the same time. So usually about, if it happens, it might be a few days, but usually they're pretty good. If I think back to when the Deus 2 came out, and I think back to when the HF coals came out for the Deus 1, it seemed like everybody sort of got them at the same time. And if they got them over in Europe a little bit quicker, it was within a matter of a few days before we got them here in the States.
They're usually pretty good getting them to distributors worldwide, if I remember right,
Yeah. Well, they've got
so
they've got a distribution warehouse here in the United States, and that that usually gets it pretty quick. And one of them is in Georgia, so that's
the
why.
ones in Texas, I think, as
Yeah,
well.
one's in Georgia, one's in Texas, and I think they've got one in Massachusetts somewhere,
Right.
I believe. Now I don't know if they got any more out west, but I think Texas is maybe the one that they have further out west. So anyway, so spray can Michael says, yeah, tornadoes were crazy. Yeah, I saw those tornadoes. Those things were awful there in
Mm.
Florida. Metal Detecting with CZ Kid wants to know if you caught the SpaceX catch their rocket. Yeah,
I
I saw
did.
that on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere. David Becker says, yeah, they did a lot of beach replenishment on the west coast of Florida, hence the amount of sand that came in. Oh wow!
A
So
lot of people, let's see, a couple of days ago here were posting pictures of the northern lights. You could actually see them in this area.
yeah, I saw that
That's
too.
pretty
So
crazy.
Surfside Dan wants to know, what do you think the HF coal for the Deus 2 will be? Well, Michael and I have been speculating on that. Now, when I had Philippe on here, Philippe told me that it was going to be an elliptical coil, but I'm wondering if we might not see two coils. We might see, just
Yeah.
like they did with the original Deus, maybe we'll see an elliptical and maybe we see a round coil, but don't hold me to that. Now, again, I'm just speculating. XP has not told me that, but I've just got a feeling that they could possibly release two coils. We'll see if I'm right,
Yeah.
you know. But I got a
I think
feeling
so.
that they're probably going to release more than just one coil. So I do think it's going to be an elliptical, and I do think that there's a possibility of a round 9-inch round, just like the originals for the Deus One. And if they do, then it's game on. That's all I got to say, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I love that 9-inch HF coil for the Deus One, and
Yeah, and I've
I'm
got
sure they're
one.
going to stick with the same size, the 9 and probably the 9x5.
Yeah, I love. I mean that coil to me. And I used it the other day on the video. If you guys check out the video, and went through and used it just to see if I could eke out anything left on this site, and I think I dug like 3 or 4 buttons with it, and it performed really well, Michael. You know, but I
Yeah.
dug I dug a lot of small targets too, and that was my only
Right.
problem with it. I mean, I dug those little teeny tiny pieces of lead.
Yeah.
Patrick says it sounds like inside info. Look, don't hold me to that now. XP really
We're
owns
just
the business.
guessing on
Yeah,
that. We're
we're
just guessing.
guessing. We're guessing 100%. And I have Philippe on here, and he's the one of the marketing guys for XP, and he basically, told me an elliptical definitely. But with the way that this is sort of going, again, I would not be surprised if there wasn't a round coil. as well.
Right.
So, and let's hope it is, because that's going to be great for all of us if that's going to be the case. So we'll see what happens, and we'll give it a run for sure. Um, so DS Metal Detector says, Matt, take a long stick and some marshmallows. I'm trying to figure out what he's responding to. For the space launch, that's what he's talking about. So, yeah, I'd love to see that space launch. That's probably really cool. So,
Yeah.
Michael, we still got some other stuff going on too. Just to let you guys know, for those of you that have the Nocta Legend, the new software just came out, 1.17 for the Legend, and I did want to talk real quickly about that. It's got better pinpointing features. You can lower the iron filter all the way down to 0, which supposedly at 0 you got better discrimination between ferrous and non-ferrous targets, and it works better on the beach with getting a little more depth and identifying some non-ferrous and ferrous targets, especially with gold. And I think that was their main thing with this last update. And I do believe that this is the last update that we're going to see for the Legend is 1.17. And I have installed it, and I went out on the beach yesterday to try to make a video with it, but my knee was bothering me so bad trying to walk through that sand that I had to stop. So I didn't get anything done yesterday with the Legend, but I'm going to try to get something up, even if I have to take it out to a Relic site and start running it, and see if I see any performance improvements in those areas. And from what I can tell, just running some of the stuff through the backyard, it does look like it does separate a little better, but as far as the beach stuff goes, that's something that somebody else is probably going to have to do until my knee gets better. Because I don't know, just walking up and down the sand and in the beach, I don't know, it just bothered my knee. So, anyway, I did want to let you guys know, if you have a Legend, you can go ahead and you can upload to 1.17. And I believe that this will be the last update. I also believe that Nocta is really close on their pulse induction machine. So you guys that love PI machines, I think that that's going to be coming out before the end of the year. At least that's my guess. From everything that I've read and everything I've heard Delix say, I think that machine is coming really, really soon. And I would not be surprised if they're not working on another project, which she mentioned. And that other project is probably going to be the machine that's going to replace the Legend, is what I think. So I think there's a lot of good things coming from Nocta, and you guys that have the Legend and the triple score and you're Nocta guys and you love the Nocta machines, then I think you got a lot to look forward to in the coming months as they start to slowly start to put some of this other stuff out there. And I think that's coming really, really, really soon as well. So again, you guys go check out Nocta, pay attention to what they're doing. And you guys that have Nocta machines, go ahead and run the update. There was an update for the triple score not too long ago. I do think it made it a lot better, especially on the beach. And so you guys can go ahead and start uploading some of that stuff as well. DCM is in here. Glad to have DCM. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, the Quarter Hoarder crew uses the Legend. The Legend's a good machine, no question about it. And I like using the Legend. I love the Legend on the beach is a great machine too. And I've used it relic hunting too, but it really shines on the beach to me. And there's a lot of guys that use it on the beach as well. I know Gigmaster's one of them, and a few others. So again,
What kind of computer did you update the Legend with, Brian?
I used a Mac.
Right.
So yeah, you can run the update with a Mac or with Windows for the Legend if you have either one of those. Now, again, speaking of updates, we were talking about that HF coil. I think there's going to be a software update. There's going to have to be a software update for the Deus 2, because in order to run these HF coils, it's going to probably come with some different versions of programs that you're going to be able to run with that higher frequency coil. So don't be surprised. And that might be what the holdup is on some of this, is trying to get the coils right and the software right, so they can release it. And that's what I'm thinking at this point. And hopefully that's going to be really, really soon. Thank you so much, Prospectors Cash. I appreciate you so much. Thank you again. And again, any donations, super chat, super thanks, all of those things go back into us doing our live streams and cameras and everything else that we do. And we appreciate any of that. And you don't have to do it. Nobody's asking you to do it, but we appreciate it when you do. So again, and it pays for shipping and stuff too, for when we do our giveaways, our prize giveaways and that kind of stuff, because y'all know postage has gone up on everything. So again, we appreciate any of those donations. Super thanks, super chat. So thank you so much, Prospectors Cash. And he also became a member at the Relic Hunter supporter, and we appreciate him for doing that as well. So thank you, Prospectors Cash. Go check out Prospectors Cash. He's got some good stuff too. Very knowledgeable guy. Knows a lot about machines. Has been metal detecting for a while. Go check out his channel as well. Just a super, super guy. Matthew McCann says he uses Windows 11 to do his. And yeah, it works. It should work just fine with Windows. And DCM says he did his update on Windows as well. Ricky Bennett says XP and not going to get all his retirement pension. Yeah, well, the way they keep releasing machines and changing things, you just never know. Dwayne Cron says, I'm not brand loyal at all. If not wants my business, they just need to release something that outperforms the Deus 2 and iron. And one thing that I've heard from them is that they're working on what they consider to be a premium machine. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it would not put it past me, because I think they're there. They're pretty close.
Right.
And it would not put it past me for them to come out with something that could rival the Deus 2 and the Manicore. I just think that their engineers. What did she tell us, Michael? I think she said there were 30 engineers that they had working on projects.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So, who knows what they're going to do? But I really feel like they're on the verge of something really good, and
I do
again,
too.
they're one to watch for sure. So we'll see what happens. Spray Can Michael says, "Awesome! I'm doing his tonight." Right? Yeah. Go install that new update. I think you'll like it a lot. Thank you, Fly Rock, so much. I appreciate him. And one thing too, and we've switched up software, but one thing I want to mention is to go check Joel out. If you're looking for a machine, you're looking for any metal detecting goods and any of that kind of stuff, go check out Joel. And let me see if I can pull this up, Michael. I think I've got. Let's see here. But yeah, if you're looking for anything, go check out Joel at Metal Detecting Buy, Sell, and Trade. I do have it, Michael. There it is, scrolling across the bottom. And you can email him at liebelt@gmail.com, Metal Detecting Buy, Sell, and Trade USA.com. You can check him out and give him some of your business. And if you don't want to use the stuff scrolling across the bottom of the screen, guess what you can do, Michael? We got a new feature here. You can scan the QR code. Joel has everything and anything you need. He'll get you your stuff really, really quick, and super, super guy to deal with. Great supporter of the channel. He supports our live streams and all sorts of other things too that we do, and we appreciate Joel. So give him a shout out if you need something. Give him a try. He'll get it to you real quick. All you got to do is scan the QR code with your phone, and Joel can get you any product that you're looking for, metal detecting wise and so on. And we appreciate Joel so much. So all you got to do is scan that QR code, and Joel can get you hooked up with a Deus 2. He can get you hooked up with a Legend, a Manicore, and he may be running some specials. And if Joel wants to share any of those specials or anything going on that he's got going on, then he can leave us a thing in the chat But again, scan the QR code. Joel get you hooked up and get you going in the right direction. And we appreciate
Right.
Joel. So someone just scanned the QR code, Michael, and check out Joel's store. And again, he's got everything and anything that you're looking for. So we appreciate Joel so much for being on here. And thank you, Joel, for the donation tonight as well. So again, let's put up. Oh yeah, Prospector's Cash brings up another good point. The Vortex. What's going on with the Vortex, Michael?
I haven't heard anything. I don't know. Have you heard anything about it?
No, and that's something that's just, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know that they've been trying to get it right. They want to make sure before they release it. They've done some updates to it, some upgrades. The V9, that would be the one that I would look at, Prospector's Cache. For what I do, I think it's just got a lot more features and things that I would use for relic hunting. So yeah, I think the V9 is probably going to be the one to go with, especially relic hunting. And you've got a little more extra features on it than you do with the V7 and V5. Is that right, Michael?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
V5,
think that's
V7.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Key Date Kid says that he does need to become an Excalibur shovels dealer. So we need to get him
Yeah.
hooked up. So Joel, you need to hook up with Casey at Excalibur Shovels and start selling some Excalibur shovels. He makes some great stuff for sure. Metal Detecting Texas says that Joel is my guy when I buy detector stuff. That's true. And Joel does a great job of getting that stuff out to you really, really quick. And so there we go. So yeah. Prospector's Cash says the Vortex is supposed to start shipping on November the 15th, according to his sources. So I know it's going to be soon. It's just everybody's just been waiting for so long. It's just like, oh my gosh, when's it coming? And but again, they want to make sure it's right, and I get that. And I'm hoping maybe I can get my hands on one and start using it and showing it a little bit as well. Dwayne Cron says that Chig's Vortex videos really show how dated the AT Max is. Yeah, it really does. So again, Digging Daryl says all the Garrett guys had them, but they couldn't tell you when they were being released. So I know that they were all at the Kaduha Festival. Digging Daryl, were they using the machine? Did you get to hear it or see any of it, or what happened with that? Maybe you can fill us in on that. Don't Tread on Me says Vortex is for the Garrett AT series people. Yeah, and the audio is very similar to a lot of that, isn't it, Michael?
Right, it is. It sounds similar to the AT Max, from what I've
Yeah.
heard. But
Yeah,
um,
Spray Can Michael's got a good observation. He says, "What's going to stop shareware with the Vortex? Anytime they have software, it gets copied. Hopefully, they used a key ID program for it." And
I
that's
think we've talked about that before too,
yeah,
Brian.
yeah. I'm assuming that they're going to have something on it to keep it from being copied. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how Garrett could prevent that if somebody really wanted to copy the software. But the only place you'd be able to download it from is going to be from the Garrett site. So once your
Right.
machine comes, then the software will be there and they would know. And so if somebody tried to copy it, they would have to copy it from the Garrett site too, which would probably be hard to do. But I'm sure there's somebody smarter than Michael and I that can figure that stuff out, right, Michael?
Right. It's probably got a some type of code that you have to punch in your machine after you purchase that, where it recognizes that you did purchase that. But I mean, even still, there's ways to get around that. So I don't know.
Right. And we got Ferris Grump says, I was on the wait list for Manicore and they released the 700 and 900. And he said, at that point, I bought the Deus 2 and canceled my wait list number. And, I think a lot of people, I was on the Manicore wait list and I could have had one when it was first released in December of, what was it, 2022, Michael? Yeah, it's 2022, the end of
Right.
2022. So, and then I don't know. I was all about it, and then there was a lot of problems with the release, and when it came out, there was a lot of issues with falsing on iron, and I saw a lot of that, and I sort of backed off from it. And I said, I'm not going to get that machine, but I'm glad I waited because they did do the update in the summer of 2023, and once they did that update, I felt like the machine changed. The machine was a lot better, and having some of those other features on it really cleaned it up. The stabilizer, number one, and it just, I don't know, whatever else they did to it. I don't. There was something else they did to it. I just don't know what else it was because I still don't run the stabilizer. I still leave it on zero, and and it works great. But they did something to it in that update that really helped with the falsing, and it didn't act the way that it acted when it was first released. And there were a lot of people that were not happy when the Manicore was first released because of the falsing that it did in the beginning. And it was sort of like what happened with the Deus 2 when 1.0 was released, and everybody started screaming about all the falsing and stuff. And so they ended up going back to the older filters, which is what we've been stuck on. So that's why I'm real curious as to what happens with the Deus 2 and these HF coils and this software update. How's that going to impact this machine? Are we going to be able to get rid of, a lot of people have been clamoring about that 789 thing. And I saw that a lot with the fast program today. And I get it 100%, but I do know that sensitive full tones really works better and alleviates some of that 789 problem. So it'll be interesting with these software updates and all these things. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but that was brought up. Vortex uses software serial number to activate each subscription. That's what I thought. But could it be copied? I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Digging Daryl says, yes, they used all of them, had a small test garden letting people use one. It didn't impress me much because it was clean targets without any iron. And that's going to be the thing. But there's going to be there's going to be people out there that are going to buy that machine and they're going to love that machine. And, kudos to them. I mean, and I want to be able to get one just for people that come on our channel and they want to see the machine running, operating, and us setting it up the way that we do to try to figure out what the best settings are for it. So we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, Ferris Grump says, yeah, sometimes it's best to wait for the bugs to get worked out. Sometimes it is. We know part of the reason why some of that stuff was falsing out the gate. But again, it was falsing. So they had to MindLab had to go back to the drawing board and figure out why. And they did a good job because, again, after that update happened later on during that summer, I think that changed that machine dramatically. So I think they did a good job. They did. And Michael and I love the Manicore. We love the 9-inch coil especially. And it's done a great job. Prospector's Cash says each download for the Vortex has a serial number embedded and encoded in the software on the software you download. I don't know how you could copy it. That's just the thing. So again, it's going to take a really smart person to figure that part out, I'm sure. Metal detecting Texas Matt says, I love my Manicore on the beach, but I'm a Deus guy inland. And I think a lot of us feel that way. But me and Michael had this conversation. Michael, we've dug a lot of things with that Manicore relic hunting, haven't we?
Yeah, we really
And we've
have.
dug some really good things with that Manicore. Some really bucket listers for me. I dug a 1795 Diplomat button. I dug a USA button. I dug a Spanish Real with that. All sorts of King Georges with that. Civil War buttons. I mean, just all the way across the board running that Manicore. And it's a great machine. I love the Deus 2, and I'll keep saying this. I still think the Deus 2 has an edge, especially relic hunting. I think that the audio is just far more superior than what's on the MindLab machines, or at least that's my feeling on it. But the MindLab machines, I love how they sound over silver. I like the smoothness, the quietness of that machine. I think the user interface is real easy to use. I love the 2D screen. I think there is a benefit to that. So there's a lot of pros for the Manicore as well. So again, you guys have to decide, which machine works best for you, but they all work good. It's all about the user. In the end, it really is all about the user. I used to play a lot of golf, and I worked in a pro shop when I first got out of college, and there used to be this older gentleman that would come into the pro shop, and he would go over and he would swing some of these new clubs, and he'd ask me about them, and I would tell him all about the golf clubs and what I thought and the new technology behind them and so on. And then he would finally just look over to me and he says, "Son," he says, "it's not about the arrow, it's the Indian." And that sort of stuck with me. And the same way with metal detectors, the person using it is what makes the metal detector. And the technology can take you only so far to a certain point, and how you use it, what you use it for, when you use it. I mean, all those are things that play a vital role in helping you find things. And again, you can go out there with a $200 or $150 machine and you can find things, especially if you know how to use it. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let's see here. Heading back to Corpus Christi, Texas from the Caduha seated hunt in Murfreesboro, Arkansas. All right, Lewis. Hopefully you had a great time. I know that was a big event. I was actually supposed to go to that event, but just no way with my schedule right now. And so I was not able to attend. But again, I know it's a great event, and I know everyone that went had a fantastic time. They do a really good job from what I've been told. Bubba Smith says, "I love my Deus too, but if it's not in the ground, you can't find it, and in the right conditions, even the best." That's right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of it has to do with the person or the user as well. Don't Tread on Me says, "Hit a site last week and only dug 2 non-ferrous period targets with the Deus 2 cross cannon 147 Coast Artillery catback and an 1812 era US pewter button." That's awesome. Don't Tread on Me. I know you live in a great area too. So that's really good that you were able to find that stuff. That is super, super good. Workman's Adventures on here. He says, "Good evening, everyone. Glad to have you in here. We're getting close to the end, so but we're glad you're here, Workman's Adventure." Let's see here. "Someone found a shilling with $150 machine in my area." Right. And again, sites make the difference. How you use your machine makes the difference. There's a lot of things that go into it. And I think Michael and I have even had this conversation. What would be the percentage more of fines that you would get, if you really focused on $150 machine versus a $1,500 machine? How much more stuff would you find? And would it be quality stuff? It's just hard to say. And I think it all boils down to the user and how that person knows how to run those machines. I've seen people with AT Pros. I've seen people with Bounty Hunters. I've seen people with Ace 250s find amazing things. But there is one thing, fines don't always dictate how good the machine is either. It dictates sometimes how good the person using the machine is, more so than anything. Don't you think so, Michael?
Yeah,
Yeah, Michael's glitching on me. But yeah, DCM says, "Yeah, learn your detector." Yeah. Matt says, Lewis, be careful on your drive." Yeah, that is a long drive. So, Michael, I think it's about time to get out of here. I think I've talked about everything I want. Anything you want to share tonight?
I think we covered about everything tonight.
Yeah, and let's see here, Michael. I wanted to try to do, if I can find it. Hang on one second here. And let's see here. There it is. YouTube. So, let me try something, Michael. I don't know that I'll be able to do this or not. We might have to wait till next time. Guys, I was going to do a giveaway tonight, but we might wait till next time because I've got to perfect this and make sure it's working right. I was playing around with it right before we started our live stream, but we will do a giveaway coming up on the next one, and we will try. Michael, you got a game this weekend? Friday night, you got one? Michael, you there? Hello? He can't hear me. I said, you got a game? You got a game this weekend?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a bye week, right? Yeah. I think this is a bye week this week.
So maybe we can do one Friday night, and we'll plan on doing a giveaway on Friday night. We got a couple of things.
Yeah.
And Relics and Rings was on here earlier. I want to, and hopefully he's still on here. I do want to share something that he sent to me as well. And let's see if I can pull that up. And this is his. This is Relics and Rings. For you guys that are interested, he makes some great hats. And here's one of his hats. You can go on his store and you can click on the QR code there. And he's a great supporter of our channel, and we want to help him out as well. But this is just one of the hats that he has on his store that's available. Here's a camo version of them for those of you guys that love hats and love metal detecting. Really super nice design on there. Here's another one that he has, and you guys, all you got to do is click on the link in the chat, or you can scan the QR code and you can check out his store. He makes some great t-shirts too on there. This is one that I have as well. If you guys can see it, it's Relic Hunter American flag shirt, which you guys can see there. It's really cool. Really nice t-shirts on there. He's got different ones. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. What does it say on it? Yeah. He says, work really sucks. I'm going metal detecting. So I like that a lot. And I think all of us can relate to that one. But a couple of the types of shirts that he has. And then he's got a treasure hunter shirt for those of you that like that. I like that one too. And Black Ops metal detecting. So a couple of good shirts there. Let me get Michael back in. Let's get him back in there. All you got to do is scan the QR code. And here's another one, another American flag one. And it says Treasure Hunter on the front. And again, this is Relics and Rings. Andrew is his name. And all you got to do is scan the QR code or click on the link on the side. And it'll take you to his store, and you can purchase a shirt or a hat. Again, he's got all kinds of different designs. Go check out his store because he is a super supporter of the channel, and we appreciate him as well for sending us some of these. And we will be giving these away too on some giveaways from Andrew. So again, check out his store, and he's got some really cool things on there. So Michael, have you checked out Andrew's store? You need to check it out. He's got some really cool stuff on there. And Keegan says awesome shirts. Yes, Relics and Rings says, yeah, I'm still working on getting caps on the site, but we do have the t-shirts up. So again, check out his site. Again, he's a wonderful supporter of the channel. He makes some great videos, so check out his YouTube videos. He does a good job with that, and he's a personal friend of mine, and appreciate him and as well. So there you go. So yeah, he said that he's still working on the hats, but he should get those up really, really soon. So again, check it out. And also too, before we get off of here, I wanted to share Joel one more time for any of you guys that are looking for anything metal detecting related. If you're looking for a machine, you're looking for, pinpointer, whatever it may be, check out Joel's store. Again, all you got to do is click on the QR code here, scan it, it'll take you straight to his store, and he's got some fantastic items on there. And he'll give you a good price on most of his products as well. And if he's got some deals going on, he can help you out there too as well. So again, metal detecting, buy, sell, and trade with Joel, and he'll get you hooked up. All right, Michael. So again, when we do our next show, we'll give away one of these nice hats from Relics and Rings, and we're going to give away. We've got some XP finders pouches that we're going to be giving away. And we'll give away maybe one of those shirts on next week's show, because I'm trying to figure out how we can actually pull the comments from YouTube. So you guys might have to leave a comment on a video, which would be the easiest way for me to actually pull the winners. And we'll work on that, and we'll try to have that ready to go for the next live stream. And I just appreciate you guys being here tonight. Michael, anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
No. I know. So we're going to try to have another one Friday, you said?
Yeah, we'll try to do one Friday. If you got to buy, I've got an early race that morning, but maybe I can power through it and get on here back on a Friday schedule for these guys. And I really appreciate everyone being here tonight. Yes, he says, cool deal. Yeah, if you want one of those hats, make sure you tune in the next live stream, and we're going to give away one of those hats from Relics and Rings, and we're also going to give away one of those nice finds pouches from XP, and we're going to give away a T-shirt too. So we'll have a few things that we're going to do some giveaways with coming up, and we may have something bigger coming on down the road. So you guys stay tuned for that, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And everybody's saying, yeah, take care. We appreciate you guys taking your Sunday night and being in here. It says it's 1:30 a.m. over in Ireland. I know. Wow. So, again, we appreciate you, Rito, being here and taking your time and staying up late. Thank you, Prospectors Cash. We appreciate you. Edward G says, yes, enjoyed the show as always. I'll have to go back and watch the part I missed. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation that went on. And they said, dang, iPhone, I tried to say Michael will win the steering contest. You've been freezing up, Michael.
I know.
Spray Can Michael says he enjoyed the show. Thank you, Spray Can Michael. We appreciate you being here tonight. Again, Ferris Grump, always super excited to have you in here with us. And you guys are amazing. And Joel, you're always welcome. Appreciate you, buddy. And thank you for being a part of what we do every week for everyone on here. So again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Luis, appreciate you. Or Lewis, appreciate it, and have a safe trip back. Thank you, Patrick, for being on here. And thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. We appreciate you guys. Ricky Bennett, thank you so much too. And again, we try to recognize all of you guys. Thank you, David Becker. Appreciate you. Gene Gilstrap, thank you. Appreciate it. Lance, always super excited to have you here with us. Digging Dude, thank you so much for being in here. Gene, by the way, too, I've got your pouch coming. I was out of town most of this past week, but it is coming to you. So look to getting that within sometime this week. So stay tuned. Yours is coming. Bubba Smith says, God bless everyone. Matt's posting his political views. those are Matt's. Let's see. Flyrock says, I'll throw in something to a giveaway tool. Right. Green Mountain says, good luck out there. Appreciate you, Green Mountain, as well. Joe Dirt, appreciate you being here. His birthday Eve, just saying, okay. Might be a special time for you then. Gene says, no rush. I'm going to get it to you, buddy. I promise. I apologize. I had a lot going on this week. Of course, a lot of you know my dad passed away, so I'm in the process of selling his house and cleaning up around his house. So it's been a busy week for me. So, but anyway, we will get that going to you. Thank you, Trevor, for being here tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you, Surfside Dan. We appreciate you being here. Key Date Kid, as always, appreciate you, buddy. Excalibur Shovels. Check out the Key Date Kid and Excalibur Shovels, and he can get you hooked up with a nice shovel as well. So he's got them. So there we go. Metal detecting Texas, right on. Yeah, well, we're trying, Matt. We don't want to get going on politics because we all got opinions about it for sure. But thank you, Matt. We appreciate you, buddy, so much. All right, Michael, I'm done. You done?
Yeah, I'm done too. I'm tired.
All right. Well, we're going to check out of here. Thank you, Michael, for being on here with us. And we will catch you guys on our next adventure. Stay tuned for my video. I should have that coming up for you guys real soon. You'll get to see the trime. You'll get to see some other things, Doug. And it's going to be a good time for sure and a great adventure. So go check that out when I put it up. It'll be sometime this week. And we might even do a premiere so you guys can join in. And we'll talk about some of the finds and talk about the adventure. So real good. All right. Yes, get out there and vote. That's right. Yeah, thank you guys for scanning the QR code. Thank you, Joel, for your contributions. Prospectors Cash, thank you for your contribution tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll catch you guys on our next adventure.